Hey Seeker, I wanted to make sure you knew about Purely Magnetic, a free 3-day live event coming up. This is a growth portal for those who are ready for the next level life. This is a 3-day event focused on activating your confidence, healing, and magnetism for miracles, because it is time to wake up to your divine potential and your pure natural magnetism. This will help you to manifest. This will help you to have more confidence. This will help you to develop your intuition, to naturally manifest what you desire. So I'm not going to go on and on. Check the show notes below for the free event called Purely Magnetic, and I'll see you there. Hey Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Oh, hi. Hello there. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. My name is Talia Joy. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be such a good conversation. If you are new here, hello, hi, Talia Joy here. I am a guide on your path to awakening. I help you to manifest what you desire and understand the law of attraction and the manifestation process. I help you to develop your intuition, to tune into your soul's purpose, and to really step into the something more in life, what you're meant to do in this lifetime. So yes, what you're meant to manifest, but also the fullest expression of who you're meant to be. For you to be a seeker on the path of awakening, that means that you are here for more love, for more light, for yes, more abundance, also more freedom, more all of that, more magic, more synchronicity, walking hand in hand with spirit and your soul and your spirit team. So if you're into any and all of this stuff, you have found the right show. I love to talk about manifestation and then always have that something more. So today's topic is one that I've heard from the community. I've heard from my clients. It's been coming up as a question. And I really want to talk today about what's going on when we feel jealous or envious or we are triggered by other people's success. So not just triggers in general, but more like when someone has what we want and it really triggers us, right? Maybe you're on the, you're open to finding love or build your business or whatever, and you see other people doing it. And even if you see other people doing it, quicker than you are or whatever it is, and that envy, that jealousy, that trigger comes up, that's what I want to talk about today. And toward the end of the episode, I'm going to give you a light bulb moment that how you can take these triggers and alchemize them into something extremely beneficial in your manifestation journey, so that when you are triggered, you know exactly what to do. You know the tool that you can reach for when this happens. So I'm excited about that. And before we launch in, I have a couple things that I want to say. Number one, have you found me over on Instagram? I've been connecting with so many of you lately. I love the DMs, the questions, answering my questions on my stories. If you have not found me over on Instagram, come on over, or Facebook if that's your thing. It's at Talia Joy Manifestation. Also, at any time, you can check the show notes, and there's always a hefty show notes section down there. So that has all my social media, my links, all the stuff. So make sure to come find me over on Instagram. I'd love to connect with you. The next thing I wanted to say is to remind you of the free event going on June 26th, 27th, 29th. And it's called Purely Magnetic. And oh my goodness, you guys, I am bringing it. I am showing up in my pure magnetism to help you to activate yours. So the link is below. It's a free event. If you sign up, if you register, you will get access to the workbooks. I want to give you a free meditation right away as soon as you register called Open to Receive that will help you to get into more receiving energy. Also for the event, it'll align with it perfectly. This is going to be so good. So this is all about stepping into your pure raw magnetism, and every single day is going to be short and potent, and it will be an activation. So over the 3 days, there is a confidence activation, there's a healing activation, and a receiving activation. So these are going to be shorter, potent classes with an energy activation. You do not want to miss this. So make sure to check the link below for Purely Magnetic. Again, free event, super excited. The next thing I want to say is Activated is going to be opening its doors. That's my signature program. I'm not going to go on and on about all this stuff today. I want to jump into the episode. So I won't go on and on. If you're curious, you can look at the links in the show notes. That is my signature 8-week growth and manifestation portal that I run a couple times a year. We are getting ready to open the doors. This is the last chance to get on the wait list, where you will get access to the lowest price if you decide to register. So if you hop on the wait list, you're the one who's going to get the lowest possible price. So that's for Activated, my 8-week signature growth and manifestation portal. And then the last thing I want to say is thank you to everyone who has been filling out the questionnaire. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I created a questionnaire, a survey, whatever you want to call it, and asking you a bunch of questions. So I've been offering this. This is still, you can get it down below. If you fill out this questionnaire, I will give you a free ticket to this month's Get Unblocked. So at the time that this is being released, it's actually at the end of this week, so less than a week. Make sure to do the survey and get your free ticket. It is a beautiful chakra clearing ceremony that you normally register, pay for, sign up for. I would like to give you a free ticket. If you get this and it's past the next Get Unblocked, they are running every month at this time. So you would then get a free ticket to the next event. So there's once a month, and it is an evening chakra clearing. It is an energy session. It is an upgrade. It is a magical self-care experience. So if you are willing to fill out this short survey, it'll take maybe 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. Sorry, I just bumped my coffee cup. I was getting excited. If you fill out that survey, I would love to give you a free ticket to Get Unblocked. So that is all the house cleaning or housework, whatever it is, housekeeping, there we go, that I wanted to say before the episode started. That number 1, come find me on social media. Number 2, the free event, Purely Magnetic. Number 3, Activated is starting soon. Hop on the wait list. And then also about the survey to come to a free Get Unblocked ceremony. I'm so excited. Okay, so today we are talking about the jealousy and the envy and the triggers. So to set the scene, I did this a little bit a few minutes ago, but you're going about your life. You have manifestations, you have desires, you have goals, you have things you deeply yearn for. Maybe it's about getting into the body, having the relationship with the body that you desire. Maybe it's about your finances. Maybe all you really want is to start a family or to find your partner or buy a home. So you may have these big, like, yearning goals, but then you also might have sort of smaller goals, like you want to redo your office and have it be a certain aesthetic, or you want a specific car, or you want a vacation to a specific place. So you have all of these things that you desire. You're going about your day, and every time you see someone on Instagram or Facebook or a friend or family or, whoever, maybe it's friends of yours that you're close to, and they are experiencing what you've always longed for. So they've been losing the weight, or they met their soulmate, or they finally got pregnant or something. And all of this I say with so much sensitivity and so much heart, because I have worked with clients or I have personally experienced all of these things, and I have so much love and sensitivity for the topic. So because I'm just talking on the podcast. I don't want you to think I'm throwing out examples that are really big without properly honoring it. I honor your journey. This is your journey, and I know what it feels like in my own way. So you're going about your life, you have these deep desires and goals, and then you start seeing people all around you, or one person, 2 people, whatever, manifesting what it is that you want, making those changes, having those different results come into their life. And it's deeply triggering. And you might find yourself going, I know I should be supportive. Why can't I just be supportive? My friend is happy. Like, I want to be happy for her. Or, to their face, I pretend I'm all fine, but behind the scenes, it's killing me. I am so jealous or envious that they get to experience. And I've been doing all this work and I'm ready too. Why do they get to have it? Why don't I get to have it? Right? So when this is happening, this comes up with clients. It came up in a beautiful conversation with a client the other day, and she was saying that her and one of her other friends were having a conversation about this, about when we get triggered by other people's manifestations. And I shared my point of view, and it really helped her. And I think that was a big reason why I did this episode. I've been hearing it also from the community in these surveys, that's something that comes up. That's a trigger. So I want to explain it like when that happens and you're jealous or you're envious, there's basically two things inside you that are meeting at a crossroads. So one part is something you really want, right? If you really want to heal your body, or you really want to have that money or write the book, and other people around you are doing it, it pisses you off, or it triggers you, or it can. Because number one, it's just showing you something. Life is showing you, you are showing you something that you really, really want, right? So some things your friend might be like, oh, hey, I got a BMW. And it might kind of go like, oh, wow, I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. Because it might not be something you want, right? Or maybe you already have a partner and somebody is like, I met someone. You're like, oh my God, I'm so happy, because it's not something you want, because you might already have it, or you're not looking right now, or whatever. So sometimes people celebrate around us, actually all the time, and it doesn't trigger us. So we want to first look at that, right? Number one, it's because it bumps up against something you deeply want. You want that lifestyle, you want that farm, you want that partner, you want that career, you want that mental health situation, like you want what they have. So that's one side of it that I want to really sort of push you to take the emotion out of. It's just a fact, okay? I see someone, writing a book that, I want to be writing a book. So that's part of the trigger, is just, something I really want, right? So we can take the emotion out and go, okay, well, that's clearly showing me something I want. Obviously, you know that. You'd be like, I know I want that thing. But number one, that's what's happening energetically, is that's bumping up against a strong desire. It's kind of like a trifecta happening. It's also bumping up against your lack of. So you want money, or, the partner, whatever, and it's bumping up against the fact that you don't have it, which goes off into its own little prongs. Okay, so I'm not building, it's not two intersections. It's like a snowflake. There's just a bunch of stuff going on. Number one, it's something you really want, and it's showing you that. Life is always showing you what you want or what you do not want. So this is the category of what you want. And then it bumps up with your lack of. The fact that you don't have it is not necessarily like a wound. It is, and I'll get to that in a second, but it's a sore spot, right? It's like, fuck, I've been trying really hard and I don't have this thing. It's a frustration. It's a tender spot because you really want it and you don't have it. So that's going on within you anyway. Maybe it's losing weight or getting healthier in your body. You want it and you don't have it, if that was a desire. Again, I'm not assuming. It's just if that was one of your desires. So seeing someone else do it basically brings to light something that's already going on within you. And this is the territory, just to share with you guys, why people say we live in like a hologram, or the world is you pushed out, or what you see in the external world is a projection of what's going on inside. And people hear that and they go, what the hell are you talking about? How is this person on Instagram being like scandalous or too sexy, or something that triggers someone where they go like, ugh, she's so this. How is that anything to do with me? And it's like, well, it taps on the fact that you want to be confident in your body or have that body or whatever, and the fact you don't have it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is just one example. But if somebody has a bunch of money and you're going like, oh, like fancy, whatever, they're probably getting that money through corrupt ways or whatever it is, you're kind of judging them because it's a projection of the fact that you don't have it and you want it. So those are the two first paths, right? The trigger is showing you something you want, mixed with the fact that you don't have it and it sucks. It doesn't feel good. You feel uncomfortable about it, which then brings in the third part of the snowflake. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this. The medicine is real, but the prongs, I'm losing myself. But the next part is the wound. So when there's something you really want that somebody else is having, it's that strong desire, the fact that you don't have it, meeting a wound inside. So how do we then start to decode this, right? Because my clients, they'll come to me and be like, well, what is happening here? And to me, it's so obvious. I can share with them and they can go like, holy shit. But not all of us are working with a coach, or not all of us can, we want to know these answers without even having to go to someone else. We want to be able to figure this stuff out, right? So when this is coming up, and maybe right now, if you've clicked on this episode, if this resonates, I want you to think of that situation. One of the most recent triggers where you've seen on social media or a friend or whatever that is having something, it does have something that you want, and it's hard for you to celebrate all that stuff. You ask yourself, number one, which is like the number one self-development question of all of time, what do I feel? And inside you could be like, I feel pissed off. I feel triggered. I can feel my blood pressure is like elevated. I feel like mad. I feel, and then you keep going. And it's like, okay, what is under that? Or what I like to say is, what is the narrative? So what I mean by that is like, what are the words? And sometimes it's like, it's not fair. That might be what comes up. Or I am such a better person than her. Why does she get to have it? And I know that this stuff, like, it sounds bad, but this is what comes out of us. This is normal for it to be like, why does she get to have it? I've done more work than her. Like, that's okay if inside you have a narrative like that. This is part of being real and seeing the wound. So asking yourself, what is the narrative? Why do they get to have it? It's unfair. It might be everyone gets to be happy except me, or everyone seems to get blessings except me. So what's under that? Being left out, being abandoned, being left alone, being not included, right? And then often what it will come back to is, I'm not good enough. So I'm just doing this in a podcast. Sometimes this takes weeks to come to this conclusion, or a deep journal sesh, but it'll lead to some sort of not good enough. I'm not doing a very good job. Shame that you haven't lost the weight or made the money. You hear your parents, in your mind, you don't want to let them down. There's like all of this stuff. When you go a little bit deeper than the surface of the one person on Instagram living the life, and you start to see that toward the end of those questions, you probably feel not good enough in your life. Not smart enough, capable enough, like you should be there by now, like you should have done it by now, like you should get your shit together by now. And I use those words for real because me and my husband have laughed about that. Like, how often does your inner voice be like, get your shit together, right? Like, that's happened a lot of times to me, and I know with clients as well, so maybe you can relate. So what we start to do is we notice those situations where that one person or that situation triggers us. We go, okay, number one, let's just have fucking compassion for the fact, let's have compassion for the fact that this is just something I really want, okay? Beyond the narrative, beyond the story, it's like, I just really want that. And I really want it to be my time. Number one, okay. Total compassion and understanding for that. Number two, it bumps up against the fact that I don't have it, and that hurts. It sucks. It's a struggle. I get frustrated. Okay, I can totally understand that. We're having conversations with ourselves here. That's how you're truly enlightened, is you can just sort all of this out with your internal dialogue, all the different parts of you. I'm just joking about that. But we ask ourselves, or we say to ourselves, okay, it's just something I want mixed with the fact that I don't have it. And there's a wound there. What does that feel like to not have it? What is the narrative that comes up? And then again, it might be like, it's not fair. Everyone else gets to. I have a beautiful client that one of her narratives is, no matter how much work I do, it never pays off. Or it doesn't matter how much hard work I do, it's never going to work out. So we all have these things. And I had another client recently sharing that she's realized that like everyone else gets to have more fun than her, and she always has to be like the responsible one. It ties back to like siblings and whatever. So sometimes when other people are living life, she's like bitter because everyone gets to have fun and I'm just here living my life. And, we all have unique narratives, and I have so much love and space and compassion because this is your life experience. This is what you've been through. At a certain time, I just want to say this meaty gem. At a certain time, whatever that narrative is about not being enough or feeling abandoned, feeling left out, at a certain time, that felt true. Meaning, you were actually abandoned emotionally or physically, or you had a situation with parents or siblings or something that made you feel not good enough, or made you feel like you had to work harder for approval, or who you are wasn't enough. Maybe you were bullied like I was. Maybe, passive aggressive comments from your parents. Maybe a parent was out of the picture. So at one time, whatever you're feeling actually was true. And this borders on healing work. So this was going to be something else that I wanted to mention, is a trigger is just an indicator of, yes, something I want and the fact that I don't have it, but it's room for healing. And this is where we start to get really Talia. Okay. So just a quick recap. When these triggers come up, it's showing you an area of life where there is a wound. So we ask ourselves, like, what do I feel right now? What is the actual narrative coming up? And you may hear something, like I said, that sounds almost like a child or a teenager, like it's not fair or whatever. Just go with it. That is what's going on inside. You're allowed. That's totally normal. And then what is under that, right? And whatever that version of not good enough is, we start to go, okay, this is an opportunity for healing. And I want you to hear this. This trigger is showing you on a silver platter. You just have to get used to seeing and decoding the way life works. But it's showing you on a silver platter what is in your way from manifesting that thing. So if I'm looking to heal my body, and I see someone online or in real life that has healed like chronic inflammation and they didn't know what it was and they tried all these different things and nothing was working, and then I see them do it. If there is a trigger inside me that goes like, see, everyone else gets to have it, or I must not be doing good enough. Oh, if I was more strict with my diet, if I was more this, like, and it just makes me feel shitty. Whatever that area is, and I would want to do a little bit of decoding, a little bit of introspection, whatever that is going inside right there is actually the same energetic frequency that is stopping me from manifesting the body or the healing. If you are looking for love and you're triggered by a friend who found their soulmate or is getting married, that feeling of lack of I don't have that, or there's no good men around for me or women or whatever, that exact narrative. And when you get down into what the narrative is and what the wound is, that exact narrative is what's holding you back from being open and available for love. Do you see the way this works? This is why I've devoted like my entire life to this, because separate from a business, this is always the stuff that I'm seeing and intuiting, but just like witnessing in life. And it is so fascinating to me because the more we get to see how life is working for you, how this experience works, to me, there's nothing more empowering, especially as someone who is healing, who is manifesting, who is an old soul, who's an empath. There's nothing more rewarding than starting to see life for what it is spiritually and energetically. So instead of just walking around believing that everyone else gets to have it and you don't, believing that, see, there's another person that gets to have it and I'm not good enough, and that's as far as the thought goes, that's what most people do. That's why so many people are feeling versions of anxiety or envy or depression over stuff like this, is because we react to it and we go like, yeah, fuck, it's good for them to have it, but I can't do that. And we stop there. But not you. You are a seeker. You are a growth junkie in some ways. You are here for an incredible life. So seeing some of these really difficult tests as opportunities for healing will change everything, and has changed, I'm sure, everything in your life as you do this more. So when you get triggered about this thing, number one, it just shows me something I want. No big deal. It just shows me that I'm kind of sore that I don't have it. That's okay. There's a deeper narrative going on, though, about lack, about scarcity, about abandonment, about your own capability. That is the place to look at the healing, because that is the energy that is holding you back from what you want. So you could go, okay, why don't I feel like I can do it? Well, it feels like no matter what I do, it doesn't work, or nobody believes in me, or I don't have the resources. Okay, let's dive a little deeper. Does that remind you of childhood? Yeah, my mom never believed in me, or my dad made fun of me for what I wanted to do when I grew up, or whatever. You might then start to see, wow, actually, I've always felt this way. Like, I don't get to have my time, or like everybody else is better at life than I am, or whatever. We trace it back. So then we move into that healing. And this isn't even the part, in a minute, I'm going to get to the part where we alchemize it into something really beneficial, but we're still in the sort of decoding of why this is coming up. So then we can move into the healing of that abandonment wound, of that I am not good enough, I'm forgotten, the universe doesn't have my back, whatever it is that comes up at the root of that narrative. When you kind of can't ask yourself anymore, like, and what else, and then you kind of just go like, oh, I feel not good enough. Fuck, that triggers me to feel not good enough. Okay. Then we go into that, when did I not feel good enough in my life as a kid? Maybe your parents were great parents, but they didn't have a lot of time for you, or they didn't celebrate your wins and they just wanted you to work harder, or whatever it was. That could be like, yeah, I actually have never really felt good enough because of this. Okay, that is where we bring in the healing work of love and compassion for that version of you, in a lot of cases, your inner child or your inner teenager, going, it's okay, my love, to the 7-year-old you whose parents didn't give them that attention, or who grew up with a single parent because the other one walked out, or they were distracted with their own life or their own addiction or whatever it was, or bullying, or, maybe you just had a lot of siblings and you didn't get a lot of attention from your parents. They didn't have a lot of time. All of those things are portals for healing. We bring love and compassion and empathy to the part of you that feels that. And now when you see a trigger, you can go, okay, the part of me that's triggered is just that little girl that doesn't feel good enough, or little boy that doesn't feel good enough. And I have compassion and empathy. And I know you don't feel good enough. And I know that life has been hard and your parents are a little hard on you and you don't feel like you're stacking up, but you're going to do great things. And I love you and I'm here for you and I see you. And we go into deeper levels of inner child healing, or inner teenager, or even if it's not a child or a teenager thing, just giving love to the part of you that feels not good enough. That is the key. It doesn't matter what age it was exactly. That is the key, is just that part of you. See that part of you. They may even look like an adult and they're sad or they're feeling alone. Like, that is the part of you that needs the love. So that in itself is an opportunity for healing. Jealousy and envy is an opportunity for healing if you wish to look at it that way. So now, the part that I want to bring to really end this off on a beautiful, powerful note is the other side of a trigger. If you're looking at like a matchstick, it's like one end is the trigger, but the other end of the stick is inspiration. It's what I call activation. In my program Activated, the one I was talking about in the beginning, we talk about getting activators, people who deeply inspire you, but not only that, they show your brain that what you want to do is possible. So it might be that you want to be a millionaire before 40 and everyone's like, you can't do that. You find a millionaire before 40 and let that activate you. So I'm not going to go too deep. That's one of the signature tools in the program. It's so expanding for your mind to just like believe that it's possible. But that's what we can do with these people who trigger us, is on the other side of the wound, we go from being triggered by this person to inspired by this person. We go, oh my goodness, if they found love, I can too. If they healed their mystery illness, I can too. And that, my love, is where life gets magical, because we're less pulled in by our triggers. You don't expect yourself to just leap to that overnight and go like, instead of it triggering, I should just let it inspire me. You can't just leap to that. You can't overlook the healing work, because that deep nurturing and honoring of that inner child or that wound inside is the part that is important so that it doesn't keep coming up. If you sweep it under the rug and try to positive your way out of it, that is spiritual bypassing, and it will come back up. The wound will come back up the next time you see someone, and then it will become a conscious battle. Like, you get triggered and then it's like, no, we got to be positive. We got to be this. Okay. And then you see it again. No, we got to be, that's not actually healing. You have to go into the trigger and go, what is this? What does this feel like? And go to those places of like, it feels fucking shitty. I feel mad. Okay, why do you feel mad? What's under that? What is the actual narrative? It's not fair, right? All these things we went through. You get to the wound, you give love to the part of you that gets triggered by that person. Love to the part of you that's like, I want it. That's okay to feel that. To have that going on inside sometimes is okay. So giving yourself love to the party that's like, I just want it. And you just kind of want to be a kid and stomp and be like, that's okay. We don't stay there and operate there forever, but we give that part of us who's clearly upset, we give them love. And then we start to see people who are living the life we dream of as inspiration, as activation, as people who we can get closer to. So if a friend has done what you want, you can talk to them and be like, how did you do that? I'm so excited for you. Do you have any advice for me? Or like you're saying to yourself, there's no good men or no good women or whatever. And then a friend meets someone, you're like, okay, actually, they did meet a good woman or a good man. And that shows me that it is possible. So maybe I should soften with there's no good people out here and go, well, there's my proof that she met an incredible guy online dating or whatever. to start to break down your narrative. Use these people as inspiration. Once there's not the wound there, or the wound isn't at the forefront reacting, once the wound is kind of, and it can be as easy as one session of giving yourself some healing, some journaling. You might cry, you might give yourself love, you might meditate on it. And that can be the majority of the triggers taken care of with even just one occurrence of doing this. It doesn't have to take 10 years, but we cannot bypass it. We cannot ignore it, because a trigger, envy, jealousy, is just the universe showing us, hey, yo, it's a window into an area that needs healing and is the exact area that is holding you back from manifesting the thing. When I was more focused on manifesting money, and that was like at the forefront, like I wanted 20K months and I wanted this much per year, and I was more focused on that, people talking about their 20K, 50K, 100K months triggered the shit out of me. But it was showing me that I was actually operating in lack. I was saying I wanted more money, but deep down, my cells were wired for lack. My brain was wired for lack. That's what I was operating from, which is why I wanted money so bad, because I didn't have it, right? It's okay to want money. I'm not saying anything about your goals. I'm just saying that's where I was actually coming from in that time. So the constant triggers were the universe going like, hello, we're trying to show you on a silver platter what is going on. But you keep doing money manifestation chants and putting a dime under your pillow. And it's like, that's not what we're trying to get you to see. We're trying to get you to see that you're operating from lack and you don't believe it's possible for yourself. And the more you do the healing work and actually own that and go, yeah, that is what's happening, and go through these steps that I'm talking about, then you start to go like, holy shit, I feel less resistance. And now these people talking about their 50K months, I'm like, can I take a program with them and learn how to do it? That's literally happened to me years ago. There was a mentor that used to trigger me so much, and I recognized she was one of my biggest activators, but I was coming from lack. So then once I witnessed that and did this process, I went through one of her programs where she taught about business and being a leader and all this stuff. And I was so inspired by what she taught. So it's just so funny how it works. It's a you and you game, right? This is a you versus you and you experience. Where you are triggered is showing you opportunities for you to heal, to soften, to open up to more. So the tool to alchemize it is to start to look at your triggers as inspiration. So you could even say to yourself in the healing journey and go like, I might not like it yet. I might not feel totally good yet, but the fact that she's making a living off her jewelry business does show me that I can do it too. Maybe even just starting to inch out of the resistance of the trigger and going, I don't like it. I don't like seeing this person on all the islands I want to go to. It kind of bugs me. It's kind of irritating how she's always doing this, like whatever, ride the wave. Then go, but on the other hand, it shows me that she's under 30 and she has the abundance to do that, which means I could do that too. And I'm under 30. And that's been one of the narratives, is like, I'm too young, or I need to be working, or I need to have a 9 to 5. Maybe that person helps you break free from the mold of showing you what is possible for you. So even just starting to inch into that, I have a bit of resistance. This kind of pisses me off and irritates me and triggers me, but they're showing me that there is hope of losing a significant amount of weight over 50, or starting a business completely transitioning from corporate into a yoga business, or whatever it is that you're doing that you feel like you can't do it. That trigger is showing you feel like you can't do it. You feel unworthy. And that's the part, love, that needs the attention, that needs the love. So thank you so much for listening in this episode. And I did want to say, I meant to say it at the beginning. If you've been called to work together, I have 1, maybe 2 spots for a brand new offering that is so exciting called Next Step Mentorship. It's just for a month of one-on-one private work, taking you through specific materials. You get a call where we're going to do a deep dive, plus 3 days a week voice memo support on WhatsApp. There's all the details. I can send them to you. If you think this might be for you, or you just want to hear the details, see the registration page, I can send that over to you, no pressure. So just reach out to me. All the links are below. You can reach out Instagram, email, Facebook, and just say, hey, I'm interested in the Next Step Mentorship. I want to know the details. Share with me a little bit what's going on in your life, or just why you feel called to work with me. And I would love to connect. I believe that all of us, we have this contract together, and the right time, the right people come together to create miracles. And so I will never pressure or be weird about it, because I fully believe in you making empowered choices, you being called, you being led. And I'm just here to float around and help you in your experience, to be that guide in your awakening. So I cannot wait to connect. Find me on Instagram, find me in all the places, and I will see you in the next episode. Love you lots. Bye. Thank you for tuning into the show. I truly hope that it served you, and it means so much to know that there's seekers out there like you on the path, really willing to give it your all and go all in. And if you do find value in this show, I would be so honored if you'd leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It really actually makes a huge difference to the success of the show, and I just love seeing your words and being supported. So thank you so much. The link for that is in the show notes, and also down there, you'll find some links for some free gifts.